on my GitHub, you can initialize the code from this repository to launch the part of the app we have already created and continue to watch the next tutorial if you don't want to watch the whole tutorial. So go ahead and download the zip file, or you can clone it by copying the URL, then head over to your desktop and create a new folder. I'm gonna name it my repo. Let it click it and git bash here. Then type git clone and paste the URL we copied and press enter. So it's gonna pull everything into this folder. Go ahead and open it inside the Visual Studio Code. Then type npm install. It's gonna install all the third-party libraries as well as the packages we need to launch this app. If it's done installing, then type npm start to launch the application. So this is what we're going to create in the next few seconds. So let's jump in and continue to take this app to the next level. Back to VS Code. Give me a second. I'm going to squeeze it to the left. So go ahead and open up the VS Code on the folder that we have been working with from the previous tutorials. Control B to open the file panel. Go ahead inside the source folder and delete index.css. Then go to the repository source folder and copy index.css and paste that to replace the file we deleted inside our project folder. So back to our project folder and close everything. Then go ahead inside our components folder and create two components. The first one is going to be our single item. The second one is going to be our card. I'm going to start with the single item and import React here at the top, and then create a constant which represents the name for our component, and return a paragraph which says this is single item component. Export single item component and press Ctrl A to select all, and then Ctrl C to copy, then head over to card and paste that here. Then select single item and press Ctrl F2 if you are on Windows. And replace that with card. Save the changes and open up the navbar component. I'm going to start our development server one more time. Then open up the new tab on our browser and head over to this website. So here is React Router Guides and everything you need to know about React Router DOM. So back to VS Code, I'm going to terminate the server. Then I'm going to type npm install React Router DOM. Then type the version we are going to install, which is 5.2.0, and press enter. Because that's the version I used to build this app, they might have made some changes to the later version, and I don't want you to miss out anything when building this app. So go ahead and install that. If it's done, then launch the server one more time. Back to VS Code and import link from React Router DOM. And then import React Icons package here at the top. I'm going to write some icons later on. Then head over to our JSX and write an order list tag. And inside of it, I'm going to create some list element. And inside, I'm going to put link from React Router DOM package and point that to our default homepage. Then go to React Icons website and search for a home icon. I'm gonna pick the outline home icon, copy that, then back to VS Code and paste that here inside our React icons package, and then slash and pick IE. I think it matches the icon we selected. Then back to link tag and create a self-closing tag and paste the outline home inside of it and give it a class name of icon. Then write a span tag of home right next to the icon. Then copy and paste that down below and delete the outline home. Go back to the React Icons website again, search for cat icon. I'm gonna pick the first one. Copy that, back to VS Code, paste it right next to the home icon. Then head over down below and paste that again here to replace the home icon. Also, I'm gonna link that to /card. Again, replace home with cat in the span tag. Save the changes, then go ahead and open up the app component and import browser router, then import route as well as switch. Down below, I'm gonna create browser router tag and select our JSX and wrap all of that with the browser router tag. Scale that in a little bit, then create a switch and put a route tag, then create an exact path of slash and point that to our home component because it's going to be our landing page. Then import single item as well as card component. Then back to switch tag and create another route. Give it a path of card, then point that to a card component. Again, create another route. This time, give it a path of single item, then point that to a single item component. Save the changes, back to our browser, refresh the page, and let's navigate to a cart page, then back to home page. But if we try to navigate to a single item, it's not going to work. So let's make that work. Back to VS Code, close that, we don't need that. Then open up the product component from the home chart components and import link from React Router DOM, and then use that to replace the A tag down below. And link that to a single item page. Save the changes, back to our browser. Now let's navigate single item page, and it works perfect. Back to VS Code, close that for now. Then inside our app component, remove browser router and then import it down here again. This time as the router, press Ctrl X to cut the line we wrote, and then head over to index.js, press the line here at the top, and then write router tag inside of React strict mode and wrap the app component inside the router tag. Save the changes and close index.js file. Back to our app component and remove browser router. Again, remove it down here, save the changes, back to our browser, refresh the page. Now let's try to navigate the single item page, and it works perfect. Back to VS Code and close the app component as well as the card component. We don't need those. And right here inside the single item component, go ahead and replace the paragraph with a section tag and give it a class name of single item. Inside of it, I'm going to write a div tag and give it a class name of item. Then I'm going to import use context from React here at the top. Then destructure the context object and receive products from the product context object. Again, import the product context object from the product context file. And then destructure the product into an ID, name, price, image, category, size, and finally card. Set that equal to products list with an index of 1. Then back inside our div tag and write an image tag with a source attribute and render a dynamic value of image. Then down below, write another div tag and give it a class name of info. Inside of it, I'm going to write another div tag and give it a class name of word info. Open that and write another tag inside of it and give it a class name of line. Down below, next to it, I'm going to write a h3 tag and render a dynamic value of size. Then write a span tag and write size inside of it. Again, I'm going to write a h1 tag and render a dynamic value of name. Then show. Down below next to it, I'm going to write a $sign, then render a place value. Save the changes, back to our browser, click buy now, and the values are rendered to the browser properly. Beautiful. Back again to VS Code, then down below the h2 tag, I'm going to write another div tag, then write a span tag inside of it, then back to the top and import React icons. Back to the browser, open up the new tab and go to React icons, then search for an arrow. Then copy the keyboard left arrow back to VS Code and paste that inside React icons package and pick MD to match the icon. Then back to a span tag and create a self-closing tag and paste the icon, give it a class name of arrow. Again, write another span tag and create a self-closing tag inside of it. Then back to React icons and copy the right arrow icon and paste that here. Again, give it a class name of arrow. Back to the top. Again, paste the right arrow, save the changes, back to the browser, and our icons are rendered to the browser properly. Back to VS Code. Down below the div tag, I'm going to create a h4 tag. Write category, put a dynamic value of category. Then outside the div with the class name of word info, I'm going to create a button which says add to cart. Then I want to create a self-closing tag. Back to React icons website and search for a cart icon. I'm going to copy the first one. Back to VS Code again, import React icons. This is because the icon we selected is coming from the outline icons. So go ahead and select IE. Then back to a button and paste the icon inside the self-closing tag. Give it a class name of cart. Then outside the div with the class name of cart, I'm going to create another div and give it a class name of arrow ring. Open up the tag and create another div. Then back to the top. Import link from React Router DOM. Then back inside our div tag and create link. Point that to our home page. Again, create a self-closing tag. Then back to React icons website and search for an arrow. Copy the left arrow. Back to VS Code. Again, import and paste the icon from React icons /hi. Then back to our ring tag and paste the icon. Give it a class name of narrow. Again, create another div and write a link tag which point to the cart page. A self-closing tag. Back to React icons website. Copy the right arrow, then paste that here again. Give it a class name of narrow. Back to the top, then paste the right arrow right next to the other one. Save the changes, back to the browser, and we see all our icons are rendered to the browser. Beautiful. Back to VS Code, open up product context.js, then create a state. I'm gonna name it pick, then give it an initial value of 4. Down below, I'm gonna create handle pick function, and it takes a parameter of index, then set pick into an index parameter we're going to receive. Go to the value object and pass pick as well as handle pick. Then head over to single item and receive pick from our context object and pass the pick value down below inside the square bracket of products to represent the index number. Again, go ahead and open up the product component and the home component. And inside our home component, I'm going to receive handle pick from our context API. Then go ahead down below and pass that into product component as an attribute. Again, map the product into an index. Then pass the index value as an attribute. Save the changes. Then head over to product component. I'm going to arrange the props so that you can see them all. Then I'm going to receive index as a prop as well as handle pick. Then go to our link tag and create an onClick event. Then I'm going to write a callback function of handle pick and then pass an argument of index value. Save the changes, back to our browser, navigate to homepage, scroll down, and let's try to pick this one. And here we have all the information for the selected shoe. Again, navigate back to homepage. Now let's pick another one, and it brings us the shoe we selected and all the information for this current product. Beautiful. Back to VS Code, close the home component, close that one too. We don't need those, at least for now. Back inside our single item component and import use state hook from React here at the top. Then go ahead and create a state. I'm gonna name it item and then give it an initial value of pick and replace pick with item inside of product square bracket. Then I'm gonna create handle increment function. Then set the item into braces and put item inside of it. Then I'm gonna return this by saying increment item by a value of 1. So it's gonna add 1 every time we click the icon. And then if the item is equal to products.length, then return item value equal to 0. Finally, I'm gonna return the item value. Copy handle increment function, then paste that down below and change that into handle decrement. Again, decrement that by a value of 1. Then change the if statement by saying if the item is equal to -1, then return item equals to products.length minus 1. Then go down below into the span tag of the keyboard left arrow and create an onClick event and fire handle decrement every time we click the icon. Again, inside the span tag for the right arrow, create an onClick event, fire handle increment every time we click the icon. Save the changes, back to the browser. Now let's click the right pointer and it gives us the next item. Again, let's try the left pointer and it gives us the previous item. Beautiful.